Well, everybody, welcome to the Random Fandom Zone podcast. My name is Herbert,
And I'm Heather.
and what a great day today.
How are
Uh,
you?
fine. How about you? What's going on in your world right now?
Wrapping up the semester, like I said, finished my grade. I actually had my work evaluation today.
Oh wow, that's
It
always
was fine, but man, she took a long time.
that's always fun. I remember in public school, it was interesting going to talk. The one thing, like if you're a principal, you're not an expert on everything. You might have been a teacher, like a regular teacher, but you probably, I mean, unless you're a music teacher or PE teacher or whatever. But I did music, so they really didn't have much helpful aspects to share with any of the evaluations that I had with that.
It's
And
the same with me. They don't have
yeah,
anything to tell me.
if you were a regular school teacher, it's different because they may have had that background, but they may not have had that background.
Or if I worked in a facility that had more speech paths.
Well, a lot of times coaches are the ones that move up as principals in regular schools, and they have their focus from that, but they don't have maybe the fine arts, and they may not even have that much in the regular classroom as well. So it's always interesting. I know I've talked to some people that work at some colleges, and sometimes the smaller the colleges, the more draconian their they're wanting to observe. You're getting paid nothing, and they want to come observe you. I'm just like, and I think I guess because they're paying so low, they get so crummy. The teachers aren't very good. Well, the way you solve that would be to invest in a full time person that you anyway. So it's just kind of interesting. My advice to people today that are young teachers is just especially today, because nobody wants to teach today. Just go do your job, do it the best you can, and if they tell you to do something and that you can't do, say, "Yeah, I tried." What are you going to do? There's some things you have no control over, and I think that's definitely true in school and whatnot. Well,
So how's your
today,
day going? What do you got going on?
the last couple of days have been really nice. So I've exercised, I've biked around. I decided that today, and I do this. I used to do this more. I wake up and say, "Yeah, I really thought about it last night. I'm gonna go shoot a short film today."
Mhm.
And so I decided to use my iPhone on 4K and 24 frames, and I'm just curious to see how that looks. Now I need to get it from the phone to my computer, and apparently the AirDrop is not as fast as I had hoped it would be. And I don't want to throw it on iCloud because it's going to take up a lot of space. But I guess I can throw it on iCloud and throw it away on there. But anyways, it was kind of interesting around playing with lighting and going to certain locations. Tomorrow I'll hopefully shoot some of the talking parts of it. And basically, I'll be honest, I don't even got a script right now. I kind of got a notions of what to do. But I do got a script for this weekend. So
Yeah, see, for my birthday, he's making me shoot one of his films with him.
well,
Yay.
yay, dreams do come true. So on that one, we're gonna have to like in Nacogdoches, I got locations all over the place, but in other places I don't, and so that's always kind of a fun
Figure it
challenge.
out, dude. This is not Steven Spielberg.
If we can have
It's not actually being presented for consideration by the Academy.
well, the thing also is that it's going to be cold, so like outside it's going to be limited probably. So
It's too
like
bad it
normally
was
I
this weekend and this week because it's been warm. It's been so
oh
nice.
today
We could have done a lot of stuff.
today would have been perfect. Today
Yeah,
would
we
have
could have
been
gone out by the lake.
yeah, very easily. And that's what I did. I went around parks and discovered some areas that have some wide scenes. I love the Breaking Bad or not Breaking Bad, but anyways, these wide shots where you're like a little micro dot on there as you're walking along.
But Breaking Bad's in New Mexico and it's cool.
Well, there's still epic shots of trees here in East Texas. So for a lot of people, they don't see trees all the time. It's kind of just like I don't see dirt all the time either. So when I see the New Mexico ones, it's interesting with that as well. So it's gonna be fun. The whole point if you're a filmmaker, and I have a lot of friends that went to film school, and most of them don't make films anymore. Some of them might work sort of in the industry as an editor or whatever else is, maybe making some what they call industrial, some footage for their company, but they don't make their own films. And I guess the downside is that, well, not downside so much, but the upside for them, they actually get a paycheck. Creativity, your own films, you lose money. You don't really make money from. So
No,
uh,
okay, you make films, but yeah, it's not your job, dude. It's not what's it ain't paying the rent.
no, no, and I think very few people that are independent filmmakers actually can make a living. And today with streaming and stuff, I remember hearing about this. I mean, it's like 25 years ago when they put out a movie. Basically, you had like a weekend, maybe a week, to be able to sell copies before they start bootlegging
Mm.
VHS copies. And people used to do this. They used to go rent a hotel room with pay-per-view and take in 10 VCRs and record the pay-per-view on the VHS tapes, and they would go sell them on the streets. And then when they moved to DVDs, whatever other system they worked out, they made that as well. So I remember walking around one time in Mexico, and I think even like New York City, and you can see all these movies that are out in the movie theater or barely been out of the movie theater that you can just buy. And I know it's not a legitimate copy of it. So forever, even long before the internet around that you had a very small window. And if you're independent, if you're a big major player, it's not good. But if you're an independent person and they start bootlegging your stuff and you're making no money off of already all the no money you were going to make anyways, it makes it more of
Yep.
a challenge.
But now a lot of independent filmmakers are probably doing stuff like YouTube or things like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the production value of things have gone up tremendously, but they're also
And
with that.
a lot of people don't make money on YouTube. Some do, but some maybe it may not be like their own thing, but some channels hire producers. I mean, some channels actually hire a lot of stuff, a lot of different.
If I was in film school, I'd go work for the big YouTubers
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
that's
People
where
can
the
get
money
jobs
is
for the big
right now.
YouTubers.
Now, I don't know if that's always going to be the case because I'll be honest, with AI, um, I think at some point I could give this footage to it, tell it kind of what I want. I want a guy walking around at various scenes, dramatic looks, uh, take the best shots, or just feed in whatever I want. And that's basically what I do when I go edit. I'll scrub through it. Okay, that looks cool. That looks cool. That looks cool. But if a computer can analyze things a lot faster than I can, so I have a feeling that's going to happen. And also, this is going to happen. Could input my script and say, I want this character to look like this. I want this character to look like this. I want it to be animated. I want it to be real life. I want it to be in between. I want it to be stop motion. And it's going to be able to make that. So um, the creative part of writing scripts, I think, will be there. But I don't know. I think AI is getting a point. Probably if I put the script into AI, it probably would make it a better script.
Oh
And
no,
that,
I think in AI, there's going to be a point where you can say, I want this basic plot go, and it'll do,
but well, I probably should do that. I should probably shoot my own script, then put it in AI, and then tell it to make it better, and then shoot that one, and then let people take the Pepsi challenge and see which one is better.
That's actually, you know what? I don't hate that as a little experiment.
You know what? We might try that this weekend because
Let's do it.
that one's not that long,
No.
and and so and I thought about this because there's a thing art now what we call a soft kid. So I got this one light here. So as you can see, I can do some cool stuff with only one light. So if I get rid of this light altogether, I still got a little light going on. But I got poor disco lighting going on. But you can do a lot with hiding the lights. I do like the reds and blues. It does have a cool look, those type of things. So, anyways, it's fun. It's kind of fun. It's fun always for me to experiment with lights. Well, I think that's going to bring us to our topic for today, which I'm curious. What's your
Your
thoughts?
pick from last time?
Yes, and you probably can't see this right now, um, but it's the prisoner. I got the Wikipedia page up.
Yeah, The Prisoner. I see the Wikipedia page.
You see it? Okay, so you see the nice bicycle there. What do they call it? Not a what is it called? Anyways, um, that's pretty iconic. Have you ever heard of this show before?
No, never.
It's one season, 17 episodes, and I don't know if they knew where they were going to be canceled or if it wasn't going to be whatever, but they basically finish it all in one season, and it's actually kind of an interesting effect of it. I was trying to put some pictures, uh, looking at some pictures of it to kind of show um, what's going on.
It is quirky. It's
Uh,
weird. Weird in a good way.
well, the art direction I think
The
is
art, it's good art direction, but it's quirky.
so apparently they even got this on YouTube, and you can see some of the little footage there of 60s
It
technology.
it kind of reminds me of the Avengers.
Yeah, the idea of the it's also like a James Bond type thing. So
I
the
James Bond, but leaning kind of to the Avengers. That sort of quirky style. You don't really know what's going on. You don't really know who anybody is.
the first episode is called The Arrival, obviously, and basically in the setup for it, you see him go in and basically quit this super
Okay,
secret.
this guy who's like a secret agent, like a top government secret official. He goes in and he quit. He just resigns and tries to walk away, and then they basically drug him and take him to this island, and he
Yeah,
doesn't really know what's going on. And it's like a nice island, like it's pleasant, but everyone there basically, I guess, is a prisoner.
they either know something or there's people that are, I guess, apparently it's too important to eliminate, but can't be in a regular society.
Or they want information from them for some, because like they want information from him. But again, all the people are sort of pleasant and relatively resigned to being there.
Well,
It's
do they want information from him, or do they just
Yes, they
want
want
him?
information from him.
Okay, I guess I didn't read it that way. I thought that he had information that they didn't want to get out.
Okay, well, he has information that is crucial to them. That they are concerned about.
Yeah,
I
they
thought that they wanted to know what he knew. Because if they don't want his information to get out, they can just kill him.
but again, he's too valuable to kill. That's the whole point of this is that whatever skill set he has, they may
I
need,
mean,
and what
I
he
guess in
knows.
some low key ways, he seems the most determined who wants to get out. The rest of the people in there seem just kind of like, ah. And again, that's not like there are some people when you kind of low key have a conversation, they try to help him get out. But like, yeah, everyone's kind of it's a nice, pleasant place, and they're yeah.
I mean,
I didn't understand the big round balloon ball,
it's some technology obviously that we don't even have currently.
that
That's
I don't think would ever really exist because it's fantasy.
yeah
That kind of element to it is fantasy.
it's like I would call it like it's like a guard dog or like a robot.
Basically, it's like this big beach ball balloon type thing that I don't know bounces on you, and I don't know if it kills you or you just because one guy thought it killed, and then he had it and it just like made him pass out.
Yeah. So I was trying to pull up
So anyway, he tries to escape, but of course they get him back, and then they have this. He's one character, the prisoner, and the other one is number two, who like talks to him and questions him and tries to get him to give him information. Which in this episode is one guy, but I'm told like throughout the season, the actor who plays number two, they change every time.
yeah, because whoever is the most important in a society is kind of a different aspect.
But I mean, it's good. It's again quirky, Avenger, very disorienting. You don't really know what's going on, or you don't even know who everybody is. It was
So
cool. I'm not saying I wouldn't watch another episode.
I'm not normally I don't do this but it's on YouTube and it's from a Shout Studio, so I know it's legitimate. Uh, that it's not bootlegged, but you can kind of see a couple of scenes. There's that big
That
bull.
that's a big ball that like bounces into people, and he's trying to fight it.
It's it's interesting. I mean
And
again,
then now he'll pass out from that, whatever the big ball did.
Yeah, so it's interesting, and like you said, I love this type of art direction, and
The art, I mean, it's good art direction. I mean, in a 60s kind of, I don't know if I would quite call it low budget, but I'd say it's budget oriented.
there's a budget there. It's not Doctor Who budget.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no. It's not Blake Seven budget. It's higher than that.
yeah, this is actually, and there's that gas that knocks him out,
But
basically.
not much. Yeah, that's when he's quit, and then they knock him out with that gas and take him to the island.
And
I mean,
so
he's got a maid on the island who will clean his house for him. They have parades and bands and
they got shops. I mean,
yeah, shops.
it's kind of a nice little.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a
like a pleasant little society out there.
not a drone shot. That's actually from a helicopter from back in the day.
Yeah,
So that's not an easy shot to get. And so, I mean, the helicopter right there, that's more the budget than Doctor Who's whole episode. You know,
yeah. That that's a whole episode. Well, at least of classic Doctor Who,
yeah, classical. Yeah, that's, and there's a,
or of yeah, like Blake Seven. That's
I tell you, it's an interesting idea to use, and I mean, that's real balloon. You know, that I don't know how easy it was to do that. And I guess they sped that up and slowed it down so people aren't moving or whatever. I mean, it's a little bit surreal. It is
it's
surreal.
surreal.
The colors are interesting. The technicolors are there.
And the art direction backs up the kind of surreal feeling of it. Like you say, it's very James Bond kind of.
You know, before
I
we had
wonder if by the end you actually know what's been going on or what the information was that he had. I don't
there,
know.
there's an ending. I don't want to give it away. There is an ending to it. So, but and then you know ultimately they're going to win because they got all the resources there and everything. So, um, but it, the acting was adequate, right?
I mean, I would give it adequate. I wouldn't, yeah, I wouldn't say great. I mean, obviously it's a BBC, 1960s. You know what? It is very cinematic. It did feel very movie-like.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't the standard. I mean, standard stuff, and there he is trying to get away, and then of course he can't get away, right? And there's the island. There's the island there. And it got. I love they got technology that we don't even really got today to drag them back in. So, kind of a kind of an interesting aspect of it. So let's see if there's anything else on here that has to say. Um, so he plays number six because he's the sixth most important person there. And basically, an interior of his home, hundreds of people. I guess it was hundreds of people from all walks of life, cultures seem to be peacefully there. I'm not a number. I'm a free man.
Yeah, he says that like at least, yeah.
So, is there any development of it?
I mean, that could make an interesting reboot, really.
They tried in 2009
Oh,
and they didn't even finish it.
mm,
It looked good. A strange place in Scotland where people, valuable knowledge of one sort or another, were held prisoner on extended holidays in a luxury prison camp. So I guess that was kind of the idea of that.
yeah, that's what it's like. It's like a luxury prison camp.
That and I guess the point is like you're still in prison, but there's that. I guess that village is a real village. So that was this guy's reception
I
videotape.
think it's something that would have a cult following. I'm not saying it'd be massively popular, but I think fans who love it would really love it. Like,
Apparently, there's some books. There's a computer game, role-playing game, and comics. Remake in 2009, and it met with unfavorable reviews. I thought it was fine, but again, it probably just wasn't ready for that.
I
Apparently,
think
Christopher
you would think it's fine. I would think it's fine, but it is weird and quirky. I can see most people aren't gonna, I don't know, buy into the premise.
Proposed film, as Christopher Nolan supposedly wanted to do something in 2009. So Ridley Scott. So apparently this must have reached some people like it wasn't only me that saw that there was something in there. Apparently they did the audio dramas of it, the same thing, big finished production. That's what they do for the Doctor Who ones, right? Where they do the audio dramas. So and at 8.5 out of 10, that's pretty good ranking.
That is a pretty good ranking.
That's not and there's few free places to go watch it. And yeah, let's see his background, just because let's see what his known for. He was apparently in Braveheart. I guess he passed away in 2003, and that's his last. He apparently was on The Simpsons even. Number six voice. Oh, okay. So basically, they throw a throwback to him. He's Lawshank's King Edward the First in Braveheart. Remember that?
I do remember that.
That's him.
Longshanks is the king that died, and
Yeah.
his son got, or not his son, but Pierce Gaveston got thrown out the window. Which Pierce Gaveston did get thrown out of a window. I'm given to understand.
Scanners, Escape from Alcatraz. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, I remember that. That's the one with Clint Eastwood. The Man in the Iron Mask. Silver Streak. Yes, he was the bad guy in Silver Streak. Wow. Okay. And there's a prisoner there. So 67 to 68, that's that James Bond time. I was just curious if he was ever in Doctor Who.
Oh, sure. Every British actor's been in Doctor Who.
I don't see it. Mary Queen of Scots in 71. Um, Murder She Wrote,
Oh,
episode 87. Columbo,
I've,
90.
I've seen all Columbo. I don't know if I've seen him, but again, I think I've probably seen episode 87 of Murder, She Wrote.
I don't see any Doctor Who, which is interesting. He must be one person that says, I ain't doing that. I already did one. I'm not going to do another one. Adventures of Sir Lancelot. That was apparently a TV series. Anyways, so he he apparently was a well-known actor. And I've seen him in several things outside of The Prisoner. I didn't connect that he was in Silver Streak or in Braveheart. Um, but he I mean, is he a good actor or did he just work for that part?
I don't know. He worked for that part. You know what? Maybe he's good. He was in Columbo and other things like that.
I don't know if that makes you good being in Columbo or Murder,
Hey, Columbo's good.
but um, yeah, if you got 16 or more episodes in you, you might kind of enjoy it. It is quirky, and some of the episodes are kind of standalone, and some of them kind of all kind of connect together enough to kind of get through it. And honestly, I don't remember the ending, but I do remember when I watched it at the time, I thought, yeah, this is satisfying enough, sort of. Now, I think there was kind of a revolt against the ending, but unlike a lot of shows, like the reboot of it, there was no ending. This one at least got an ending, and I like that. Very rare. A lot of times when things aren't working, they don't give them a chance to quit on their own, and so forth. So, anyways, I guess it's been a while since we watched it, so I know there's probably other things on it, but I like the suits. I like the music to it. The music had a
Yeah.
really good intensity to it.
It had some good art direction. Yeah, the sound, art direction, music, that was pretty good.
Going into the shops, the idea of having currency, that they got little taxis going around very fast to get you one place to another. Uh, there's definitely like he's obviously the upper class of that island, having a more fluent areas. So apparently, there's other people that are prisoners that aren't as important. So
Well, and people that kind of work there, like the taxi drivers and the shopkeepers.
no, I think there are prisoners. I think all the people that work there are prisoners.
No, they might be. I'm just saying, I don't, to my knowledge, I don't know that he has a job. Some of the people there have a job.
I don't know if they have to have a job or they want to have a job, and or I can understand it.
All I'm
Somebody,
saying is there are people there that just aren't like leisurely, oh, I'm just here. Like they actually, and I don't, again, I don't know if it's their choice. I don't know if they have to do that, but there are people that work there that I
well,
guess are all prisoners, but he doesn't work.
if they have a credit system where they give you credit, maybe at some point they got their own economy. So to me, that's even more fascinating. How can it work? How do you have the taxi drivers and the bakers and the shopkeepers and the shoemakers and things like that? Then you had that old guy that was playing chess that was like 90 years old. That's apparently important to keep alive. And they did shuffleboard and things like that. They got people to attend the elderly prisoners in there. So, anyways, there's a much like a lot of times I kind of read too much into this things. There's a lot of things, mechanics to make that work.
Yeah, you
And
know, it's fascinating. There's a lot. There's a lot you want to know when you watch it, like how it all works, like who everyone is, what do they want to know, but how the society works, how the like, yeah,
and basically they were
there's a lot of scope there for a lot of material if they wanted to use it.
they were saying also that you don't quit, right? Like whatever it is, you can't quit that
Oh,
job.
his secret agent job, like whatever it was he did that he tried to resign.
You can't get out of that. And again, conceptually, that is interesting. Now, I don't know if that's reality. If there's anybody that's quote too so important that they can't go out to something else, can't leave. But um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how important that is or not. Well, anything else about the prisoner you want to chat about, or we covered it pretty well? Did I lose you?
Yeah, sorry. This is such quality. I had a phone call coming through. I'm streaming on my phone. Yeah,
All
such
right,
we
no
have such
worries.
a great budget here.
High budget here. Is that pretty much it for the prisoner? That
I mean, I can't think of anything else. Again, I thought it was an interesting watch. Pretty
it's what
decently acted, good art direction, and a very interesting concept. Again, I really think a reboot could do well.
the I would say this also that unlike a lot of the British shows, it actually had a budget, and so you can kind of see that there was
Well, okay, not a phenomenal budget, but
not an American budget, but it wasn't. It
yeah,
was
not an
probably
American budget.
one of the higher budget ones. And maybe once you get the location, that's the highest part. But the clothing, it's
Mhm.
kind of it's not the standard clothing of the time there. Once he gets on the island, they give him that special suit with
But I mean, even the shops and the little, where they were was all
the map and everything. So it's
the
good.
big bubbly thing.
Yeah, and I'm sure they have whole videos how they actually pull that off because that would not. I mean, think about that. Okay, we need a balloon to cover somebody up, and then on the reboot, it was interesting how they did it as well. Um, but it does make sense if you're getting suffocated, you're going to stop
Yeah, but
whatever you're
they
doing.
weren't getting suffocated. They didn't do that wall thing long enough for it to be suffocating you.
Well, yeah, they obviously don't want to terminate the people because they're important, at least for a certain
Okay,
extent.
my impression was not that it almost suffocated them.
Well, it stopped them from going, moving.
Well, yeah, I don't know how it worked out. It did stop them. It incapacitated them.
If you got no air, then there it is. Well, since we're kind of done with the prisoner, I may go finish. I may go watch the rest of it since it's so available to go watch now. Um, because they're short and zippy. And anyways, so what
It has that kind of dry British humor to it. Like,
yeah, yeah. And in '68, if you think what's going on at the time, the Cold War is very hot. Uh, the Berlin Wall, all these things are this very, very. There's a lot of spy. The James Bond phenomenon is out there, so it made sense they wanted to do like a spy type film and the, conceptually what we're going to do with all these important people in these luxury prisons. But you're still a prisoner, even though it might be nice. You can't leave. There's certain things you can't do. So it kind of begs the question on that. Well, do you have a choice of things to watch? And if you don't, I'm sure I could come up with something also.
I do not. Well, okay. I would like to do an episode of Blake 7. However, I don't have one on the top of my head, and I don't want to do a stupid one.
Okay.
You were kind of going through that, and then I guess you
Yeah.
kind of stopped.
Yeah. If you want to do a a Blake 7 episode, I'm fine with that.
You know what? Well, okay, it'll be a Blake episode 7 episode. I will text you which episode later. Where is Blake 7 anyway?
Well, I know it's on the British service that you use.
Okay.
Uh, and also they have the DVDs available as well. So let me just pull up real quick, Blake 7, just to kind of show that for the audience out there. So there it is, and this was 52 episodes. Terry
I think
Nation.
3 seasons. Yeah, Terry Nation.
Well, no, 4 seasons.
Oh, 4 seasons.
So 78 to 81. So that's 10 years different than The Prisoner. And apparently the budget was not as much because it was very, very innovative. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible.
No, it kind of was. It kind of was.
So we look at, there's some of the cast there. I don't know if they got any images. And so there's the ship. Apparently someone made a model of it. You probably could 3D print that one pretty easily. But cool. That sounds like it'd be kind of a fun one to do. And also out there, if some of y'all have a TV show that's quirky or sci-fi or interesting that we don't know about, I discovered this one show. I get on these kicks, and for no reason, like I thought, I want to see how many channels I can pick up over the airwaves. And it used to be that there were like 3 channels around here. Well, when they went digital, it made it kind of worse. Like the analog signal, you can still, even if you got 75%, you can still sort of watch it. With digital, it's either 100% or 0. You can't do it. But because the digital has a lot more bandwidth, less bandwidth, instead of 1 channel, you can broadcast like 9 channels on that same channel. So I pick up the local CBS channel, and there's like 700 channels that you could theoretically watch. So on there was one that popped up, and I'm seeing this series I never even heard of before, and it was called, oh, let me see if I can find it real quick. The Murdoch Mysteries. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
Okay. I haven't. I'm thinking, what is this? Is this steampunk? What is this? And it looked like a soap opera in some ways because it wasn't that good of acting, I think. Have any thoughts on that one?
No, I'm aware of it. That's all.
So you haven't watched it?
No.
Apparently, one of the prime ministers in the UK loved it so much he has like a cameo in it.
It's actually, I mean, okay, maybe I'm wrong. I think it's fairly popular. Like, I don't think it's all that esoteric.
Well, I never seen it before. I never even heard. I didn't even know it existed before.
You're not a big murder mystery fan.
Yeah, well, this is 1890. This is Murder Mystery in 1895 in Toronto. So no, I don't know this. I don't know this. And apparently, it's based
I
off
mean,
of some books.
1995.
No, 1895.
Oh, you mean that's what it said, not when it was filmed?
No, it's like 18 seasons.
Yes, like I said, I think it was very popular. It's not esoteric. It's
Well, what I'm saying,
well known.
we think with the internet and all these streaming services, we might know stuff, but I discovered that one.
You're not a murder mystery fan.
Well, yeah,
That's like saying I discovered X-Files. Like,
I probably wouldn't watch it. But the thing that's interesting to me,
it's not a quirky little known show.
if well, I bet you I'll walk around campus, no one knows that show. Out of 100
You're not
people,
British, dude.
well, they're not Canadian either, because the thing is made in Canada.
If you
But
went to Canada or you went to Britain, everyone would know it.
So that'd be like Murder, She Wrote.
Yes.
You would know that name even though you haven't
It's
seen it.
like, oh yeah.
Real quick, I was flipping around TikTok, and some guy says, if you're around in the '80s and you heard these shows, these are the most boring shows. MASH. Whenever I heard the theme song, it's depressing, and I knew it was time to go to sleep. Another one was Matlock. My grandma liked this show.
I could see Matlock, but I thought people actually liked MASH. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah. So, anyways, but it's just like, but I can see as a kid, if you're
But
like
yeah,
5 years
the kid.
old, you ain't thinking MASH is funny, and you're not thinking Matlock's great. You saying he thought Matlock looked like the devil, but he was nice though. I didn't know what was. I forgot what the other one he thought was a horrible show, but those are the two that popped out was MASH. Because it was true. They played MASH like as soon as the newscast was over at like 10:30, you hear the MASH theme going in there. And so hilarious. And that's one thing that a lot of people aren't experiencing anymore is over-the-air TV because it's gone for the most part because we just stream. I got rid of my cable. You got rid of your cable a long time ago.
Yeah.
And when I used to have cable, I could still stream it by typing in, I've got CBS or I got, CW, whatever. I could pick up CW and it's CBS. And I did this. I had a 75-foot cable that ran as far from my house as I could to get out of the way from the trees. And I did pick up Fox and I did pick up ABC also. So I could get 12 channels for free. And if I got one more, if I got NBC, then for most people the reason why they plug in wires, antenna is to watch football. And if you have all those channels, you basically watch all the football you want. No PBS apparently. I can't pick a PBS around here. No local PBS channel. But anyways, so well, anything else you want to say about TV or podcasting?
I anything else going on or news today or
Uh, not well, not so much. There's I guess the newest thing that's coming out is the Superman trailer is supposed to drop soon. So I no longer have a local movie theater, so I have to
yeah,
actually
the Nacogdoches movie theater shut down.
yeah, so I have to go travel somewhere to go watch that if I want to actually see it.
I got 2 more days of work until I'm out for Christmas.
It's gonna fly by, fly
Oh,
by.
it does not fly by. The Christmas part will fly by. The 2 work days.
Will not fly by. Well, uh, maybe a Murdoch mystery could figure that out. So, well, I want to thank everybody for watching the show and everything. So thanks again. Once again, I'm Herbert,
And I'm Heather.
and thank you for watching. Please go to the randomfandomzone.com, go to the TikTok, go on the YouTube, share this with all your friends that love amazing content like this. Because where else will we get someone talking about The Prisoner? Answer is nowhere. Thank you all again.